Okay, so before we begin, really quickly, the things that I'm looking for Cloak and Dagger is your positioning, because you need to be safe as a healer, your healing priority, who exactly are you looking at to heal, how you use your cooldowns like your bubble, your curtains, and the most important cooldown, your ultimate. That being said, let's take a look.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
Okay, you just walk through the portal. Literally everyone walks through the portal and everyone is dead. Yeah, just don't. Try not to do this. Not much to be said there, other than just you gotta think about that it can happen, and you just don't walk there blindly. Okay, that guy's AFK. Okay, he's sitting here looking to heal, nice. Okay, maybe this curtain was a bit too early, because you see, like, pretty much everyone on your team is full HP, except the Emma, and it's not like she's about to die, right? So this white curtain here, maybe it's a bit useless or like pointless, because what it does is it does a little bit of a burst healing, and then it increases the healing on your teammates after, because you see here, after you use the curtain, they have like this green around their health bar, which means they are heal boosted, so they get a bit more healing for the next few seconds. But besides that, it's kind of pointless because no one is really even taking that much damage, and you want to be using this curtain when there's more damage on, or like there's a lot of damage coming in, because that burst healing and the healing boost will help your team survive the damage. So they need to take damage first before you use the curtain. Same for your bubble, but slightly different. We'll see when we get there.
Just embrace the light. I was fine, but thank you. Everybody needs a hand. So cold.
By the eye of...
Okay, this would be a moment where you might want to use the bubble for yourself. So ideally, you would be getting healed by this invis, but if not, since you are at half HP, you should just throw down the bubble to yourself. So most of the cases, I would say that the bubble should be for yourself first, and then maybe your team, because if you die, your team is in big trouble, and the bubble is the best cooldown you have for keeping yourself alive besides the phase in the cloak form. But the bubble should be for yourself most of the time, like here. Another thing that could be said here is that maybe you are getting left behind. Like, you should have moved with your team. See how your team is moving like a cohesive unit, and you're just slightly lagging behind them? Because what this means is you've basically isolated yourself, which means you have made yourself a good target for this Psylocke to pick on, because you're all by yourself. Even though your team is still very close, you can see that the distance between you and your team is large enough that it creates kind of this isolated effect, which the Psylocke abuses. So two things could have been done differently here is, number one, bubble yourself faster after you've taken the damage. So like here. So bubble yourself here. And number two is, maybe you shouldn't have stood so far behind your team, like you should have been with them. Number one, bubble yourself. Number two, be with your team.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Much to prove.
Okay, going back with your team now. Okay, they capture the point, that's nice, but should also keep in mind, like, are you not hearing that there's a fight happening to your left here? Look. I mean, he doesn't need healing, but at the very least, I would, like, peek an eye, you know, just like to see what's going on there. Alright, these guys are not as important because you literally just captured the point, so the fight is pretty much gonna be reset now. Same thing here, bubble yourself. Nice, nice. That's good. Now you have to be patient, because it's basically just this captain and you cannot fight in this situation. So, right, this guy is still in the spawn room. Where's the other guy? There was... I don't even know where the Emma was. She was around here, but yeah. So this is definitely a moment where you need to be patient and wait a little bit. Wait for more of your team, and then you can go in. Like this, yes. Also, another thing I've noticed is, right at the very start of the game, like maybe around here, you could just slightly play here, peek out, and maybe throw out a black curtain from the cloak form, because it can help you push up, right? So, because it's been quite a while, right? And you still haven't used the black curtain once. So you want to be using that as much as you can.
Tandy needs help.
Okay, just healing. That's nice. See, like this was a good situation for the black curtain, yes, right? You want to use it, especially when there's like a Hulk diving on your team. You want to use it on him to try and force him out. And you want to use it on the enemy tanks, because it will force them to play a bit more passively.
Guess it's time for us to head underground.
Careful. Namor's called in friend.
Yeah, you're just kind of getting slaughtered here, so let's see. So first of all, you just completely whiff your bubble. Right, so let's look at this. So the bubble, you need to use it right at their feet. Right, so you see how you're throwing it in Narnia. You want to look down and use it at your feet, or at the feet of your teammates. Still, I don't think this would have been a good moment to use your bubble regardless, because, well, this guy's probably not going to wait around to be healed in your bubble. This guy probably doesn't even know what bubble means. So this is why I say the bubble is for yourself, like 90% of the time, 80% of the time. The bubble should be kept for you in case you get dove, in case you are attacked or under pressure. For the other time, the white curtain and your regular healing should be enough for your teammates. See here, because you wasted that bubble, you don't have the bubble in this No More ultimate. So you are in a very bad position now. You almost died. You should have died there, right? So you see so many opportunities where you could have used the bubble. Imagine if you had bubble here, right? And so on and so on. Because you randomly throw that bubble and you waste it for no reason. Now in situations like these, the white curtain does more burst healing than your regular healing. So right here, maybe throw a white curtain on this guy, instead of just healing randomly. Because you have the white curtain available and you're not using it.
Lights out.
More tentacles than Gargantos himself.
My time to shine.
That's the wrong color. The black color, you want to give it to the enemies.
You next time. He was supposed to figure all this out.
Same there, could have maybe used the white curtain on that guy. I also don't understand, like, I like that you're kind of looking for this Psylocke, but I feel like you're just too paranoid at this point. I feel like you're too paranoid and you're missing out on giving healing to your teammates. missing out on giving healing to your teammates, missing out on doing the black curtain on the enemies. See, you should also heal your other healer. Like, your other healer is #1 priority. So like, you look behind him, but you just don't even heal him. Like, heal this guy. Like, why are you looking there when this guy is so low HP? I mean, that bubble was good, but definitely way too late. So you should have hit it now. Like, why are you waiting for it? This could have maybe even been an argument for your ultimate. And this is another reason why you shouldn't sit so far back from your team, because look, where you are now, if you are to use your ultimate, you might not even reach them in time, because it probably needs 2 dashes to get here. So once again, you are so far back from your team that your ultimate would lose a bit of value in the time trying to get there, right? If you were a bit closer and you see this ultimate coming, you could instantly respond with your ultimate, and maybe your teammates don't die here. So you should have been a bit closer to your team. You should have probably used your ultimate, and if not using your ultimate, then you should definitely have instantly bubbled. You're like, you're throwing the bubble after the guy dies. Same for the white curtain. You're throwing them after they die. But your abilities do more healing than your regular healing attack. Now this ultimate is completely wasted because 2 of your teammates are already dead. This guy is now dead as well, so this ultimate is for what? 3 people, which is a complete waste. Even with an ultimate from you, fighting 3 versus 6 is a losing battle. So you are just too late with your abilities in general. Right? You use the bubble after the guy dies, you use the white curtain after they die, and then you also use the ultimate after they all die. Then it needs to be to save your teammates. Right? You're a healer to save people, to heal people and save them from death. You cannot heal them after they died. Like, this ultimate is just a complete waste. That ultimate is also kind of a complete waste. See, now they used cloak ultimate, but you don't have your ultimate, so you're just gonna get farmed because there's nothing you can do about it. I like that you're healing the other healer now. That is good. You are kind of just getting farmed here because you did misuse your ultimate and your abilities. So, same thing here. If you see an ultimate coming, that's when you could definitely throw down your bubble on your teammates so that they don't die from an ultimate. Also, do you not see this guy that's literally blinking by being on critical HP? These guys, look, these guys, yes, they are taking damage, but this guy has a much higher chance of dying in the next 1 second than the tanks. Like, you're not even looking at him, you're not even healing him, which is very concerning. Now this bubble, kind of a waste. Again, why? Because you were getting healed by the invis. Or the rocket, I mean, because looks like they swapped the rocket. And now you're full HP and you're sitting in the bubble. Where instead you could have thrown it to your teammates here, and look how much more healing it would have done. Okay,
Glad to help.
we got our ultimate now. Let's see how we use it.
By the eye of Agamotto!
That was a better bubble, yes.
My time to shine. Just embrace
By the way, you can see the cooldown of the ability from the other form in the bottom right here, you see? So you can see the cooldowns from your other form right here, so that you know if you have them available for the other form.
my time to shine. Just embrace the light.
You need to bubble yourself. No, you need to bubble yourself first and then maybe fade away, because by the time you swap to the other form to fade away, you might already be dead, whereas the bubble is just right click and it's instant. And you see, this takes time, and in that time maybe he hits another shot and you're dead.
Down to 30 seconds. That was fine. Us against the world.
Why are we ulting this?
Us against the world.
I mean, it's not horrible, but it's also completely unnecessary. Like, the reason for an ultimate is to win a fight, or to gain an advantage for the fight, or to make it even. I don't see any need to use your ultimate here. The enemy hasn't used any ultimates. They're not pushing super aggressively. Your teammates are not immediately dying. This feels like a waste, especially when the enemy team also has ultimate. Like, see, they just use it now and it's just, okay, well, this has achieved nothing. It's now back to a stalemate. And you die. Like, you see, this was another ultimate completely wasted. There was no reason for you to use our ultimate there. The ultimate should be used as a response to an enemy ultimate, like, most of the time. Like, 80% of the time, your ultimate is a response to an enemy ultimate, like a Namor ultimate, maybe, or a Psylocke ultimate, maybe, or a Ultron ultimate. Not just using it willy-nilly for no reason. Okay, and that's how the round ends. Okay, so from watching this, you're definitely not really keeping track of your cooldowns, not really using them properly, and you're also not really looking at your teammates like who need healing actually. But overall, this entire round, both of your ultimates were bad, which definitely is a huge disadvantage because on support, your ultimate is like the #1 thing you need to be thinking about. Let's see how you do in defense.
Hey, make fun of my tail all you want, but I've still beaten Doom, Thanos, and Galactus.
I require some aid. I feel better already.
Just spot a bad guy.
Also, do you play with headphones? Because I would have heard this Psylocke, right, from like somewhere behind me, and at the very least, I would turn around and look what's going on here. And maybe you could have saved your Punisher by doing that. Maybe. Right? But the problem is, like, it's too late. I think your awareness in general is kind of lacking, and you need to stop tunnel visioning so much on the healing and just kind of maybe close your eyes and try to identify everything that's happening in the game without even seeing it. So you could actually try this in like a quick match or something. Literally just stay in the back, right, somewhere behind cover maybe. Keep holding left click for the heals, just close your eyes and try to identify what's happening. Like, okay, maybe my Punisher is using his turret. Maybe my Punisher is using his turret because you hear the turret shots. Maybe your Bucky is charging up the hook because you hear him charging, right? Just close your eyes and try to identify what's happening in the game just by hearing it. So maybe this way you can increase your awareness a little bit. Again, the bubble here was fine, but you should have definitely used the curtain first. So you should use the curtain first on your teammates, and then if they still need more healing, you probably use the bubble. Alright, so like in this case, definitely the curtain first. But this was not a bad bubble. This was not a bad bubble. Although you see, this is why you need to keep the bubble for yourself, because look, now you don't have the bubble and you almost died. And you'll probably still die maybe. But this is why you don't waste the bubble willy-nilly. The bubble is for yourself.
I wasn't sure we'd get this chance again. Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
Now, you should also,
I wasn't sure we'd get
when the point is changing,
this chance. I wasn't.
you should have a prompt here to swap spawns, and you should swap to the other spawn, because otherwise there's a very high chance you get caught walking this way
Sure we get this chance.
and you die. Or at the very least, you go the other way. Like, you have to think about these things. Also, why are you trying to fight a Punisher? See, like, why are you trying to fight the guy? Okay, that's a nice white curtain. Well done.
You owe me one.
Same thing here before even the ultimate. You're kind of not, like, you're not even looking at who you should be healing. So in this case, I would definitely be looking at the Luna to heal her.
You owe me one.
It looks like I mean, this character is auto-targeting, but you're still missing somehow. Then, this is a nice fade. Unfortunately, you still die. Could have also used the bubble maybe, but it doesn't really save you that well.
Still here. Don't you put me out.
Good medicine. Enemy in front of us.
Okay, that's a nice white curtain. Why are you healing? And why are you walking out of the Luna ultimate? So if there's a Luna ultimate going, or any support ultimate other than yourself, and even after your own, you swap to damage and you try to kill them while you have the advantage of being immortal from the support ultimate. Like, they don't need more healing now. Just swap to damage and try to kill something. This was a good ultimate. Unfortunately, your team did not make use of it. And
We better test this out.
yes, your ultimate was good. Unfortunately, your team did not know how to use it. So this isn't your fault. But even before the game reached this point, on the attack portion, you had 0 good ultimates, bad bubbles, bad white curtains, bad target priority with the healing. So even though this last fight here is not necessarily your fault, maybe if you played better before this, you wouldn't have reached this far.
Please, we're hurt.
Okay, so the game's pretty much over. So overall, after watching this, you might have issues with awareness, like I said, and I've told you how to try and improve that. Then try to keep the bubble for yourself first and use the white curtain for your teammates first. And then if they still need even more healing, then maybe you can throw them the bubble. But most of the time, you need the bubble for yourself so you don't die. Then you need to heal. The priority is the other healer is number one priority. Then the healers, because they are squishier than the tanks. And then the tanks. However, this priority does change depending on who is about to die in the next second. But most of the time, this is the normal priority. Then, for your ultimate, you want to be using it as a response to the enemy DPS ultimate or enemy tank ultimate most of the time. Even maybe the enemy support ultimate if they use it first. You don't want to be using your ultimate for no reason out of nowhere, because most of the time, that is going to be a bad trade. Your positioning wasn't the worst, except that sometimes you were way too far back compared to your teammates. So, in the composition of your team, you should be the one that is the furthest back, but not so far back that you are in a different zip code compared to them, right? It should be tanks first, line number 1, DPS second, maybe line number 2, and you are support, so you are line number 3 in the back, but it's kind of like a bus, right? You have the driver in the front, which is the tank, but it goes line by line by line, right? There's not like a big gap between the seats, right? They're one right after the other, and that's how you should play support, right behind your tanks, or like right after the DPS rather, but still close to your team. So that being said, I do hope this is helpful, and I hope you get better games and you try to improve on these things. Also, try to use the black curtain almost on cooldown. So as soon as you have it available, try to throw it on the enemy tanks as much as you can, because it does apply some more pressure and it does a little bit of damage, which is extra ultimate charge. So yeah, I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or anything else. Thank you, man.